Yeah, everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we have a sponsored video. Thank you very much, Josh, for this one. When I did the 10 most beautiful cities in the USA, Charleston came up and I thought, you know, that is a wonderful looking city. So we're going to do top 23 things to do in Charleston, South Carolina. So let's jump in and let's have a look at this one, shall we?
So we're here in Charleston, South Carolina. Not
Look
only one of America's oldest cities, but now one of the country's most visited cities.
And we're going to try to
Look at the
visit as
architecture.
many cool places as possible.
Ah, look at that tree. I love the... Whoa, look at that. Everything's moving too quickly.
Look at it.
Quit it.
This is Broad Street. And of the 23 cool Charleston places to
Look at the architecture.
we begin our adventure on this breathtaking strip right here. Preserved with 18th century architecture, here and the rest of the city has some of the most beautiful buildings, also rich with history.
I don't know, do the palm trees suit it?
I'm convinced that Charleston has something for everyone.
I don't know. I love the look of it though. Wow.
You can tell that they really take good care of the buildings. As old as they are, look really beautiful.
As soon as I got here, my very first impression was, kind of reminds me of the movie The Patriot. Then I rewatched The Patriot, and yes, that movie actually took place in the beginning in Charlestown. It was originally called Charlestown at the time, named after King Charles, one of the British kings.
Ah, look how pink that building is.
The unique, beautiful, pristine architecture here, I absolutely love it. So one of the first things you'll see here on Broad Street in Charleston is St. Michael's Church. George Washington himself worshipped here at St. Michael's and St. Philip's churches.
Wow, okay.
Only a block down, the almost famous Rainbow Row.
Definitely take a walk down Rainbow Row. All the beautiful pastel, colorful homes. It's a really happy place in Charleston.
I like the green. I like the colors.
It was built in the 18th century between the Revolutionary War and the ratification of the Constitution.
Wow, look at the road.
I also love how just across Rainbow Row are these cobblestone streets. Such a great city to visit. It really does take you back.
Got some history there.
We're at the Joe Riley Waterfront Park.
So from this park, on the dock, you can see the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge. But also over here, you can see Castle Pinckney, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Originally built in 1797 after the Revolutionary War hero Charles Pinckney, it was constructed to defend the city from a naval attack when it looked like war with France was upon us.
Oh, okay. Nothing like having battlements in the middle of the river.
Anyways, these are some historic homes, huh?
Wow, look how old.
Look at that little fireplace.
What do you think of Charleston, babe, so far?
I love it.
Next up, the End Building on Broad Street. Built in 1771, the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon. Not only does it look cool with its masonry build, but it was one of the primary public buildings in that time and where the Revolutionary Councils were held. But unfortunately, when Britain took Charleston in 1780 during the war, they turned the basement into a dungeon. Luckily, you can see that today because it's now a museum.
I mean, I gotta see it.
20 minutes outside of Charleston downtown, the largest tree in the state, Angel Oak tree.
Angel.
Oh my gosh!
Holy. Wow, look at it spread everywhere.
It looks fake.
It looks
and
fake.
Massive, and like how twisty the limbs are.
Wow.
And it literally looks like a tree that would be on the set of Harry Potter and the
Looks like
Forbidden
an
Forest.
octopus. Wow.
So this angel oak tree is what's called a live oak tree, and they only grow along the eastern coast of the United States.
Wow, look at it. Man, that's a pretty impressive
It's one
tree.
of the oldest living things east of the Rocky Mountains. Estimates of the age of this tree is anywhere between 400 and 1500 years old. And I love how long the branches are.
Longest limb is 89 feet long, and this massive circumference of this tree is 31.5 feet.
It's like a beautiful work of art. All the limbs.
Wow,
The
that
next
looks
place was the
nice tree.
Magnolia Plantation, and this place was
Wow, look at the
truly
garden.
remarkable. Not only is it America's oldest romantic garden, but it
Wow.
also had the Audubon Swamp, which was the best hike in the city, along with plenty of awesome wildlife. It was so much fun, we actually decided to make a full video out of it, which I'll link to at the end.
Oh, wow. Wow, look at the pink flowers and everything. Wow.
Wow.
Not only does Charleston have the largest historic district, but it also has the most buildings in the National Historic Register. And as we re-entered downtown, sightseeing the old but preserved homes, we made our way to one of the busiest streets in the city.
Wow, look at the lattice work
King
on that.
Street.
We have a lot of that in Australia too, down in Melbourne.
This is where all the shopping is. So if you love to shop, go on King Street. It's fabulous. Clean, the buildings are really pretty. There's palm trees. It's like if you can't go south to Miami, here you go.
It used to be called Great Street back in the 18th century. That was when merchants and traders got together and sold all of their stuff. But today, it's one of the top tourist attractions, and it's one of the most beautiful roads I've ever walked.
Looks like a mall.
I guess it is a mall.
Wow, look at that chandelier.
Like we do not belong.
Oh, we do. Look at the biodiversity here.
A random side note, we're just camping at the nearby James Island campground. But if you have the means, there are some extravagant hotels in the heart of downtown.
Yeah, hi, my name is Tamara. I work at Hyman's.
I'm Claire. I also work at Hyman's.
And I'm passing out these delicious thing called hush puppies. If you're ever here in Charleston, you have to try one. It's really good.
Where hush puppies get their name from? Back in like ye old times, they would like get the little scraps and they'd throw them to the dogs and they'd say hush puppy and it would keep the dogs out of the kitchen while you were cooking.
Oh,
What is it?
because hush puppy here is a shoe.
This menu is quite massive. It's taller than
Oh
I
my
am.
god. Oh,
I
know.
really love the business model of this restaurant. Like, they give you a
Oysters,
lot
love
of
'em.
freebies, and the prices are really good, and everyone is just like super duper nice.
I think they're still alive.
Look at that one. It's like looking into our soul.
Oh man, that looks good.
I got you.
I love
the
seafood.
people. I love the people down here. Honestly, the African American cuisine down here, and it is beautiful. Like, and then it's water everywhere. Come to Hyman's also as well if you come to Charleston. Please come. Oh yeah, you have to cook this breakfast.
Oh,
The next day, as we made our way to Fort Moultrie, we crossed over another Charleston landmark.
Right now, we're crossing over the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge. Beautiful bridge. I feel very safe on this bridge.
yeah, that's a huge bridge. Oh wow, what? Oh, okay.
So right now I'm walking on top of the main wall of Fort Moultrie. There are where some of the guns were at. And there in the distance is
Oh, yeah, you
Fort
can see the
Sumter.
castle.
And it was here
Ah.
where the Confederates fired upon the Union at Fort Sumter, which started the Civil War.
Oh wow. There really is a lot of
Hide
history.
from the wind.
This does help against the wind.
I wonder if they are the original steps.
Look, it's even cracking.
Those are the tunnels
Yeah,
right
I'd
there.
probably
Fort
say they
Moultrie was originally named Fort Sullivan, and it was built in 1776 of palmetto logs, which inspired South Carolina being named the Palmetto State. Look how massive these
okay.
Roman guns are. When we
Wow.
get our future farm, we'll have to get
50,000
one, and
pounds?
no
Is that
one
what
will
that
mess
said?
with us.
Holy moly.
Yeah, we'll just like stick it out the window.
So many different areas on this fort. We're about to go to some more over here.
This gun is from 1862. That's wild.
I wonder if this was the exact location where the Confederates were firing upon the Unions, because they are aiming right at Fort Sumter.
Wow.
These long rectangular foundations right here are all that are left of the two-story men's barracks that stood here in 1809. This is what is known as the Northwest Bastionette to repulse an expected land attack. Bricks from 1860. I don't know what they are, but we're gonna find out what they are.
This was built in 1820. It's called a traverse. It was built to protect the main powder magazine from projectiles.
Ooh, that's an old door.
Oh, that's cool.
That may be the original barrels.
I don't know.
I know we mentioned the
musket room?
Revolutionary
Outer
War
room?
and the Civil War, but you also have to think about the World War II era between 1941 and 1945. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, American war mobilization accelerated quickly. At Fort Moultrie, new and improved gun batteries were added. This is where I'd want to work, right?
Oh, okay.
And just see this breathtaking view.
If you want to see some really cool history here in or near Charleston, but you don't want to pay that much money, Fort Moultrie is a good choice. And you can also see Fort Sumter in the distance as well.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely worth it.
Now going back to downtown.
Looks like there's a lot to
So
see
where
in
we're
this
at
town.
right
a lot
now
of history.
in downtown is considered the French district. A lot of
okay.
18th, 19th
French Quarter?
century architecture looks absolutely stunning.
Wow.
The various types of buildings throughout many significant time periods in American history. Really awesome. This district is awesome.
Some of the architecture reminds me of Scotland. Some of that old European,
Personally,
British
I love how
architecture. I
peaceful
like it.
and quiet it is.
Oh, that is quiet.
Church Street is loaded with a lot of historic buildings, including the very first Baptist church in the South, built
Oh,
in
wow.
1862.
Here we have
In the South?
Colonel
Wow.
Robert Bruton House, which was built in 1720.
And next to that, 1735, Thomas Rose Home.
Like, I love that. I love the balconies. I wish we had a balcony.
The little Juliet balconies.
There's just all these
I love the
oak
shutters.
trees arching over the road. And so far in downtown Charleston, my favorite part is definitely walking along Church Street. It's so peaceful, beautiful, and incredibly historic.
More back roads here, frozen in time. These cobblestone roads.
That's the Nathaniel Russell House.
This is actually one of the country's most important neoclassical homes, which is architecture from Italy, France, and Germany.
I want that.
That house?
Yeah, can we get it?
Yeah, no problem. Let me just pull $1 million out of the
Like, look
bank
at that.
account
Look
we
how
don't have.
beautiful that is.
You might need a bit more than that.
Here is the Hayward, Washington. Built in 1772, this is where one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence used to live, Thomas Hayward Jr. Also, when George Washington visited Charleston in 1791, this is where he stayed at.
Wow, can you imagine Washington walking up those stairs?
Now, if you
Into that
really
house.
want to feel like you're going back in time, the cobblestone alleyway. If you just type it into the GPS, it'll pop up. I love how back in the day, they couldn't really level it out too well, so they just did the best they can. For a large city, it's very quiet in the morning time. Just 10 a.m., you can hear the church bells in the background. Pretty cool. Coming up on an even smaller alley,
that a cannon?
Powder Magazine, which
Oh,
is
okay,
the
that's what it
oldest
is.
public building in Charleston. It was built in 1713. It was used to store gunpowder throughout the entire American Revolutionary War.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that house cool?
Yeah.
This is a
the anchor.
beautiful road right here.
It's so clean.
Yeah.
It's weirdly clean.
Every road in Charleston is like a whole different surprise. It's amazing. Here we're at the Dock Street Theater, another very historic landmark of Charleston. It's usually open 9 to 4 on weekdays, and sometimes on weekends they have actual shows.
The Dock Street Theater is 215 years old and was built in 1809. And it's apparently haunted.
Of course it is.
I love the architecture of this theater.
I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure that's Sean O'Malley's church right there.
Close, but not quite, Tony. This vibrant pink church is the Huguenot French Protestant church. Not only is it the only active Huguenot church in the country, it's also the oldest Gothic revival church in the state, built in 1844. Furthermore, the French Huguenot congregation in Charleston goes back even further to roughly the 1680s. Fitting, it's located within the French Quarter.
And here at St. Philip's, two famous people are buried here. Charles Pinckney, who was a signer of the United States Constitution, as well as Edward Rutledge, who was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. George Washington attended Mass here.
Some graveyards are creepy, some are very standard and boring, but in a weird way, this graveyard is kind of beautiful.
It is.
If I was dead, I would want to be buried here. Nah, I actually don't care if I die. Just throw me in the backyard, babe. Like, why would I don't care when I'm dead. Who cares? Provide some free food for like dogs, you know? Like,
My God.
there's no point of that. We just warn you guys, don't judge me personally for what she is going to do.
Using my EMF radar to see if there are spirits here.
Gosh. Oh, it's oh, guess what? Oh, guess what? Nothing's gonna happen. So on the other side of Broad Street, next to the historic homes,
A lot of
is the
churches.
St. John the Baptist Cathedral.
Wow, look at that. Wow, that's impressive.
Cathedral has stunning Gothic-style architecture, and it's another notable landmark in the city.
If you were
look
wondering
at
why
those
Charleston has
windows.
so many epic historic churches, well, the original colony was established with the principle of religious freedom since roughly 1670 to the 1700s. In general, if you're an architecture lover, history buff, or both, this really is the perfect city to visit. And best of all, sightseeing in nearly all of these locations is free. That was one of the best shots I've ever captured in my entire life so far.
Wow,
Give
look
this
at the
video a like
view.
for that. Here, let's see that again.
Wow.
Look at this. Look at the sun. But, anyways. Just across Rainbow Row is the walled city of Charlestown. Not Charleston, Charlestown. Remnants of the bygone era. Back in the 17th century, when the English settled here, they named their colony after their king, then started building fortifications to defend against the Spanish, hostile Indians, and the French. It was the only British walled city on American soil. In case you need a sit-down break in this area, the Washington Square down the road is a good place. It has many cool monuments, including, of course, George Washington.
Oh yeah, that is a beautiful pink house. This is East Battery Street. On the side of East Battery Street is a boardwalk along the ocean. Pretty cool.
Truly a great walk if you love the ocean but don't want to leave downtown. But in case you don't mind a little drive, roughly 15 miles away is both beach access and a view of yet another and our final Charleston landmark for this video.
Oh.
The Morris Lighthouse. It's 161 feet and the tallest lighthouse in the state, placed on the southern entrance of the Charleston Harbor.
Wow.
The beach, even when it's cold, is the perfect way to end a quick but action-packed adventure. I hope this video helped you plan your next trip. Subscribe if you're interested in more travel videos, and as I mentioned earlier, if you want to see the full video of Magnolia Plantation, see that video here. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.
That was very interesting. As somebody who is a history buff, I think that would be right up my street. You know, when we did that 10 most beautiful cities of the USA, this one kind of caught my eye because there was no skyscrapers. You know, there wasn't any tall buildings. You could just see the spires of the churches kind of dotted throughout the town. Now that we get a closer look to it and with the architecture and the history that's there, definitely would love to visit that Charleston. Just love it. That seafood, I love seafood, so that is right up my street as well. But definitely the architecture and the history would draw me to that town. So Josh, thank you very much for sponsoring this video. That was a very interesting video. Very interesting. I would love to visit Charleston. So guys, let me know. Remember, if you want to sponsor your own video, all that information is down there in the description. Guys, in the meantime, make sure you stay safe. I'll definitely see you in the next reaction video. Did you enjoy that video? Why not watch another one?